What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Lumsden Motorsports Garage. I'm Wade Lumsden. Today we're going to continue on with our Bootlegger bomber build. Specifically, we are going to put kicker bars in the car. Don't forget, if you like this project, check out all the other videos. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're going to continue on with the build. We're getting close. Honestly, it's probably going to be a handful more videos, but it's really not that much more work. So let's jump right in and start on the kickers. All right, so our car, the fuel tank is actually right behind here. In the rules, it states that if your gas tank is basically like in the trunk area, that you need to remove it and install a fuel cell. But it also has a provision for cars that their gas tank is right behind the axle, which that's what ours is. It says that we can install a 2-inch thick-walled pipe between the frame rails to protect that. Keep the rear end from getting crushed up into that, the whole rear of the car, like the trunk area, from getting crushed into that. So what we're going to do, instead of doing the fuel cell route, we're going to do the 2-inch pipe route. I got a 2-inch piece of thick wall pipe right there. That was donated to us from WT, Ray over at WT in Fallon, Nevada. Again, he's probably one of the spears, the hard chargers for this class. So if you need something, need clarification on rules or anything, reach out to Ray at WT in Fallon, Nevada. But so what we're going to do is I actually want to attach it to the frame, not just the sheet metal, right? So we're going to cut a hole right here, and we're going to cut a hole right here, so that we can get that pipe through and get it to frame. All right, we're going to cut a nice big hole right here so we can get to the side of the frame. Nice bit of exposed frame. We'll do the same thing over here. All right, so now we have our holes and our access to the frame rails. So what I'm going to do, you can weld your pipe directly to the frame if that's what you want to do. I've never really been a fan of that. I like to put a piece of plate, weld the plate to the frame, and then weld the pipe to this frame, to the plate here. All I did is I went to Home Depot. I got a piece of flat strap from Home Depot, 3 by 36 inches, and that's what I'm using since it's a 2-inch pipe. That'll fit inside there enough to get a weld on. All right, got our pipe welded in, put the plates on the frame, welded the plates up, and then cut the pipe, shove the pipe in there, and that should be good to go. Next thing we're going to do back here is we're going to cut out this top area. I think I actually got it marked over here. We're going to cut out this top area so we can access the top of the frame so we can start getting some kicker bars put in. Okay, so now what you're needing to do is basically estimate where your kicker bar is going to go through that back firewall. and the length. So once you know where it's going to go into the trunk, you can measure up to where the kicker bar is going to mount. Now, kicker bars really should be mounted in this area right here, up near the top, right in this area. You can go more towards the center if you really want, but really they should be right here in these corners, because that's really where your main hook is the strongest. So what I did is I took a piece of string or a rope, whatever, and I ran it. Originally, I ran it through here, and then down to, let me walk over there, down to where I wanted to mount it, and then there was a bend in the string, and I was like, oh, okay, now I can guesstimate kind of where it's going to go. And then I took a hole saw that's actually much larger. I think we have 1.5 inch pipe that we're using, and I drilled like a 2.5 inch hole or something to give myself some room to play with. You're probably gonna have to trim out some more, but this gives you a good starting spot. And then that way, now I can run my tape measure from here up all the way up to my hoop, my main hoop, and get a measurement for an estimate on how long this piece of pipe needs to be. Now, I am also going to probably add 1 inch to that, just to be safe. So once I get it shoved in there and kind of situated around a little bit, I won't notch it or anything like that, but actually, to be more specific, I'll probably add 2 inches to it. That way I have some room to play with and trim it up before we install. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that piece of pipe cut and shoved through the hole, and then we'll see what we need to adjust from there. All right, so I got this first bar kind of tacked in here. Put a metal plate in. Don't laugh at my welding skills. I am not a welder. They are not pretty, but they will stick. So this is just tacked in place. It's running up, and as you can see, I'll give you a view from the cab. As you can see, I misestimated a little bit where the hole needed to be in the rear firewall. So I just had to drill another hole for clearance, but you know, that string method is good to get you close. It's much better than cutting a ginormous hole. I mean, like, you know, in the past I probably would have just notched this whole piece out just to make it fit. But so we got that there, and then it runs up to our cage. I kind of, due to clearance in the trunk and trying to get it to where I wanted it to run on the frame, we're going to be inset a little bit more than I wanted to be, but that's all right. This will work. Notched up here on this pipe, and I did notch it kind of with a little bit of an angle in it so that it would come back and not make such a giant gap. So on this here, you'll see I had to angle cut the bottom of the pipe to get it to kind of sit flush on that plate. Again, don't laugh at my welds. I am not a welder. I'm not a fabricator. It is really, really faint here, but you can see kind of this angle, this little line right here. My Sharpie was running out, but that's going to be the angle cut for that portion. This is actually going to be the kicker for the other side. Now that we basically have the one side done, I'm just going to do my best to mirror it. So I'm going to go ahead and make another kicker that's the same size, and then we'll notch this end and then beat to fit and paint to match. I'll probably have to cut this out just a little bit more right here in the trunk, but it's all right. And then This is painted, so I'll have to grind the paint away so I have a clean surface to weld on, and then I'll weld my plate and get the other kicker installed, and then once they're both setting in there, I will weld them in place to the best of my ability. All right, so I got both bars in. Here, see them welded in the back there, which is awesome. Our big pipes in. Up here, you can see this one's in, going through there. This one I was better able to guess where the hole was gonna go, since I had a general idea of what the other side was, and I was trying to make it as symmetrical as possible. So that's the kicker bars. I think later on we will probably come back and add a X bracing, which is literally just taking pipe and making an X in between the kickers. The farther up and farther to the end points that you can make your X start and end, the stronger your X will be. But you know, it's not a must do. Really, what the kickers are for, if you were to take a massive shot in the rear end, it's supposed to keep the rear end of the car from folding up and folding in and getting smashed in. So again, these are not required in this class, but it's just kind of one of those extra safety deals that we wanted to put in. So really, you're okay with just the 4-point cage. That's really all you need to be super safe. But it stiffens up the car a little bit, and it adds that extra protection from the back end getting, you know, crushed in. And seeing how we have our gas tank back here, it's just that little bit of extra protection to keep all that from getting crushed if we were to take a massive shot from behind. Thanks for watching, guys. That's going to be it for this video. We got the kickers in. Again, there's still some stuff to do. I know this video was kind of short, but as you might have seen in one of my other videos, I will actually be going to race my modified at Bristol Motor Speedway in March. To be able to do that and be successful, I'm actually going to end up pushing this project outside for a little while and bring my modified in and really start getting to work a couple months earlier than I thought I was going to. So it might be a little while before you see another video on the Bootlegger Bomber, but I will be posting stuff on the modified as soon as I'm done with that. This car doesn't race until I believe it's the end of April or May, somewhere in there. I think it's the end of April is the first time this car actually races, but honestly, it's not that far off. It's, I mean, seat mount, move a battery, a couple small things that a guy could do in a weekend, and the car could race. Is it 100% complete, as in has a paint job and all that stuff? It probably wouldn't be, but we'll get it to that point. Stick with me. Stay tuned for more videos. Again, like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the Bootlegger project, and if you want to stay up to date with what's going on with me going to Bristol. I'm going to continue to make videos for that as well. So join the ride. Again, like, subscribe, comment. I know some of those welds are pretty scary looking, so let's not be too harsh on my welding abilities. I've never been the good welder in the family, that is for sure. My brother, my dad and stuff, they definitely took up that skill, and I leaned on them most of my life, but unfortunately they're not here to build a car for me, so here I am doing my best. So all right, guys, again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.